If you're just joining us, you're watching Daybreak on Trust TV. And right about now, it's time for our first discussion. And it has to do with the NBC sanction on Vision FM. The National Broadcasting Commission earlier this week suspended a popular current affairs program of Vision FM, Idon Mikiya, for 6 months. Now, the station was actually fined 5 million naira. And to discuss this in the studio, we have joining us human rights activist Hajia Najatu Muhammad. Good morning and welcome to Daybreak.
Good morning, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Okay, so, following, this suspension of Vision FM for 6 months and this fine imposed on them, let's get your reaction on that.
Well, first and foremost, there's a precedence. We are moving fast. The country is being moved to a totalitarian government. Because in a situation where you gag the media, that is the only outfit in which the common man can air out and the government can get the feelings of the populace. And the essence of governance is the protection, first and foremost, of lives and property and the territorial integrity of the country.
Okay, please, Hajia Sarish, we're going to get back to that. I want to fix some technical issues and we'll go on with that after this quick time out. To stay. All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Daybreak, and we are discussing the recent, sanction placed on Vision FM by the NBC. And we have Hajia Najatu here with us in the studio to talk to us about this recent happening. So earlier, before we cut you short, you were saying something.
I was talking about the country being moved into a totalitarian government. This is highly tyrannical because the fundamental right of every Nigerian is freedom of expression. And as a media, there is an obligation in every media, on every media house, to not only expose corruption or mismanagement or misrule, because they are the only means through which the common man can express himself or defend the interest of the people of this country. I think primarily that is what the media is all about. However, this the gagging of the imposition of the sanctions by the NBC in this case has totally breached the rights of the people of this country and the media. The excuse they gave was that the media house, that is Vision FM, have breached Section 39, subsection 3B of the Constitution, which restricts any discussion of issues that have to do with the security of the country.
Right.
They did not breach that. There's a difference between the personality of the head of an institution and the institution. There's a great difference. So when there is corruption or a breach of the trust imposed on a person, then it must be exposed, because this has to do with public funds. This has to do with the rights of Nigerians, because it's their monies. So if I want to take us back to the IOOK scandal of the missing, or the $43 million that was found in Ikoyi. After that scandal, the president set up a committee that was headed by Ambassador Babagana Kingibe to overhaul the NIA, because not only $43 million was found, there was over 200 million naira that was also found in Abuja cash. So the president took it upon himself to create a committee that can overhaul the NIA. This was chaired by Ambassador Babagana Kingibe. Ambassador Babagana Kingibe brought Rufai as secretary to that committee that will overhaul and put right all the ills in the NIA. Now what happened? They made recommendations. One of the recommendations is that anyone that will come as the next head of the NIA must be somebody from the NIA and not less than a senior director a serving senior director in the NIA. Now, in this case, Rufai, who is the secretary of this committee that made these recommendations, has actually been eased out of the NIA. He was a deputy director who sat quite a few times for the examination to being a director and failed. He failed on 2 or 3 occasions to be promoted as director. And then he was eased out of the NIA. He wasn't working in the NIA. So in spite of the recommendation given by the same committee that he was secretary to, and in spite of the fact that he was not even eligible, since he was not even working at the NIA then, he was made to be the head of the NIA.
Okay.
Against their own recommendation.
Okay. Now, the NBC actually backed its move, saying the content of Idon Mikiya was equal to prejudicial move and to national security. No,
when you talk of national security, you are talking of the operations of our securities. You are not talking of the corruption in it, because why in the first place was a committee set in? The committee was not a secret committee. The question of the $43 million was not secret. It was in public domain. It was in all the media, and everybody was following it up. Why did they not conceal the fact that $43 million was found, if it has anything to do with the breach of the security? And nobody has told us till date what happened to that money. It is the right of Nigerians. There's a difference between the operations of any security apparatus and the activities of the heads or members who are public servants, who are not just public, sometimes they are public servants, sometimes they are civil servants. So there's nothing secret about their activities. But when it's secret, it's only secret when we talk of their operations. In this case, Idon Mikiya did not talk of the operations of the NIA. No, it did not. So it did not breach. There's a difference between the individual and the organization. You are not talking. The Idon Mikiya did not talk about the operations. They were only hammering on that which has been in public domain for years now. And then there is, the man has been, his tenure has been renewed against all the protests emanating from the NIA. Because what happened now is that those that were above him, those that were his directors, now have to be subjected to his command. He wasn't in the NIA. He has been eased out of the NIA. He has failed exams severally. And then all of a sudden, against their own recommendation, he was made to head, directors who were his seniors, who are still in service. I mean, how do we get security? How does this breach the security of the country? How does this corruption breach it? For so long as we allow this corruption to go on, we can never have security in this country, because for so long as you take heads of security outfits, not because they are capable, but for reasons, for personal reasons, then we'll lose it. We have lost it. That is why we are losing it. We have lost the fight against corruption. We have lost our security. And it must be remembered that on several occasions, the President Muhammad Buhari has said that he is relying on the media to advise him on the ongoings in the ministries and security outfits. So why is this different? Have we not several times criticized the president?
Right.
Why was the media not gagged? I mean, the president is supreme.
Okay.
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 All
Go
right.
on.
All right. So right now, are you saying that this is a vendetta against Vision FM, because the NBC have said they've issued quite a number of queries on this particular program?
You see, this particular program is the most popular Hausa program I know in the country. It's very, very popular because they are forthright. They say it as it is. And governance has been turned into like a personal property. Governance is about public interest. It's not about personal interest. But governance in Nigeria today has been turned into, a personal interest. You cannot say that the head of the NIA has done this or has done that. If they want us to say what they want to hear, then let them do the right thing. That is all we are asking. It's our country. It's not their personal property. It's the security of lives and properties of Nigerians. So Nigerians have a stake. The media has a stake. The media is the only channel through which we can vent out, through which we can say it as it is, through which the president will be advised as he asked to be advised through the media. So it's not a big deal.
Okay, I think another stand by the NBC is the fact that the presenter was bearing opinion, which actually violates the broadcasting code.
Well, which opinion did he? You see, even now we are discussing our opinions, are we not? We all see things differently. So all the Rufai should have done is that if he feels that what they have said, has defamed his character, he should go to court. This is the normal thing to do. You don't go gagging the media. And this thing, unfortunately, only happens to northern media. Yes, only the northern media, only the radios in the north are gagged. They are fined. I can't remember any media house in the south that has been gagged, that has been fined, that had been blocked, even though they say a lot more. Even against sometimes they even defame the character of the president.
I think it happens to channels.
I can't remember anyone that
recent
was
times,
Channels
television
was gagged.
Yes, it was fine.
For saying what?
Was fined on a program. I think the presenter was invited as well.
And then channels was shut up, or the program was shut up.
No,
shut
they
down.
actually defended, their
So
stance.
this is
the
point. This is the point. They are doing this to the north because, the north is seen as being docile, dormant, without collective responsibility. They hardly struggle from beginning to end. So by doing this, the whole of us will be consumed, because it's time for us to all come together and say no. This is our country. It's nobody's personal property. It's our country. We owe it to the generations yet unborn to put things right in this country. We are not saying that anybody, if the president wants to pick the most corrupt people as heads of security apparatus, it's really unfortunate, but it's not just about him. It's not about the president. It's about the rights of Nigerians. There's nothing personal about these things. It's about the right of Nigerians. We have a right to be heard. And the only way that we can be heard is through the media.
Well, the federal government has said they are not actually gagging the media, but to regulate it.
That is not regulation. This is not regulation. There are laws governing regulations. You just don't wake up in the morning and say because somebody has been accused of corruption. This is corruption. What we are saying is this. What has happened to those monies? Is it not true that, is it a lie that Rufai was failed twice or 3 times? Is it a lie? Did they not have the Kingibe committee? Did they not violate the same committee? How did he come to head the NIA when his own committee, a committee in which he served as secretary, has recommended that anyone that should henceforth head the NIA must be a person that is a senior director? He was a deputy director that has been eased out of the outfit. He wasn't even in the NIA then. He was brought by the Kingibe committee in which he served. I mean, look at this corruption. Why on earth can you make that? Why do you violate the law that you even enacted, your own recommendation? So how does this amount to breaching the Constitution? They breached the Constitution because they went against their own recommendations. I don't think that, and is it not true that 43 million, that $43 million from IOOK, some of which they said was used for campaigns for Jonathan or whatever, but the rest of the money has still till date has not been accounted for. Okay. What happened to it? I mean, to say this, you mean not to say it is a breach of the Constitution, in fact. That was all and there was a court order, remember? There was a court order that says that Ambassador Dauda should be reinstated. What happened to the court order? Why is it that those who are supposed to enforce the law are the ones that are, mutilating the law? Okay. Why are they not obeying court orders?
Just before we wrap up, what do you think is the way forward from here?
Well, the way forward is to abide by the law. That is the only way forward. I used to think that General Muhammad Buhari is an adept of law and order. That was the perception we had of Muhammad Buhari. So I'm surprised and shocked at this point that he doesn't even obey court orders. That he goes about breaking the laws that he himself enacted.
Well, thank you so much for coming on Daybreak this morning. We've been speaking with Najat Muhammad, who is a human rights activist. We hope to have you next time on the program.
Inshallah. Thank you very much.